Alright, this is 2.2, number 18, calculator part 2. We're continuing from the last one. Now what we're going to do is take the organized data and convert it into a frequency polygon on the calculator. Now, from the last video, looking at the histogram using the trace function and looking at each of the boxes, I got that the class boundaries were 11.5 to 19.5, 19.5 to 20.5, etc., down to 51 to 59.5. I then calculated the midpoint by finding the midpoint of the first one, add them together, divide by 2, and then I added 8 because that was the class width, and now I have the midpoints for each of my classes. This is how the book recommends doing it. I think it's a big waste of time, and I would tell you, why not just use the beginning of your class boundaries for your classes, or use the end of your class boundaries. The only thing that's going to happen to your graph is it's going to be shifted over by half of the width. So it's either going to be at the start of your histogram or the end of the histogram. So it's actually pretty accurate to do it that way. Less calculations. I also recorded the frequencies for each of these classes. Now, on my calculator, I went ahead and I stored the midpoints into L2, and I stored the frequencies into L3. Make a note. Classes are in L2. Frequencies are in L3. You can put them to any list you want, just keep track of it. That's one of the secrets to being a good statistician, knowing where your data is stored. So, going to my stat plot, I'm going to leave the histogram for number 1, plot 1 on. I'm going to go into plot 2 by pressing enter, or the number 2, turning it on by highlighting on and going to it. And then I'm going to highlight the second type, which is the connected dot plot. My X list is my class list, so that's L2, and my Y list, the height of everything, is my frequencies. Well, what did we just store our frequencies into? We stored them into L3. So, again, take the alpha off so it's the blank cursor, and then press second, L3, and hit enter. I'm going to leave the mark as the hollow dot. I'm going to press graph, and now look what we have. We have the frequency polygon, and inside of the center, right, the midpoint of each of our histogram is a dot, and then it connected them. So this is the shape for the connected dot plot, the frequency polygon that we got from our class list and frequency. Now, I'm going to do the cumulative graph in the next video, so go to that one.